Welcome to ERi-TV English news broadcast, dear viewers. I'm your reporter Bersabet Takhle, and these are the major headlines for today. President Isaias arrives in Moscow in the late hours of today. Message of congratulations to President Recep Tayyip Erdogan on his re-election. China urges Japan to stop imposing chip export controls. And Maduro and Lula hit out at U.S. sanctions on Venezuela. On your local reports, President Isaias and his delegation arrived in Moscow in the late afternoon hours of today for a 4-day official visit to the Russian Federation on the invitation of President Vladimir Putin. Upon arrival at Moscow's Vnukovo II airport, President Isaias and his delegation were accorded a warm welcome by Mr. Rudenko Andrei, Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs. President Isaias Afwerki will have an extensive discussion with President Vladimir Putin and other senior Russian government officials on strengthening bilateral relations and cooperation between Eritrea and the Russian Federation, as well as on global issues of interest to the two countries. President Isaias will also lay a wreath at the Alexander Garden Patriots Cemetery. President Isaias Afwerki yesterday, 29 May, sent a message of congratulations to President Recep Tayyip Erdogan on his re-election as the President of the Republic of Turkey. In his message, President Isaias expressed his trust that the election of President Recep Tayyip Erdogan will advance the tasks of economic development and progress of the Republic of Turkey and will afford to advance the bilateral ties of cooperation that exists between Eritrea and Turkey. President Isaias also wished good health to President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, as well as peace and prosperity to the people of the Republic of Turkey. On your last local report, nationals in Riyadh, Jizan, Khamis Busheit, Al Namas and Tanuma, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, celebrated the 32nd Independence Day anniversary with patriotic zeal under the theme Heroic Feet Anchored on Cohesive Ranks. At the celebratory event organized on 25 May in Riyadh, the chairman of the Eritrean community, Mr. Abdurrahman Imam, indicating the heavy sacrifice paid in realizing the national independence and safeguarding the national sovereignty, called on the nationals to strengthen organizational capacity and participation in the national affairs. The event featured exhibition organized by the National Union of Eritrean Women Branch, fashion show and traditional dances of all ethnic groups, as well as general competition, football competitions and cultural and artistic performances. Similarly, nationals in Saudi cities of Jizan, Khamis Busheit, Al Namas and Tanuma enthusiastically celebrated the 32nd Independence Day anniversary in the presence of Mr. Abdurrahman Usman, Eritrea's Consul General in Jeddah, and Mr. Mohammed Ali, Head of Public and Community Affairs, featuring cultural and artistic programs depicting the day. Still to come here on ERi-TV's International Reports after the short break. Welcome back. Chinese Commerce Minister Wang Wentao urged Japan to correct its wrongdoing of imposing chip export controls. This is according to a statement from the Chinese Commerce Ministry yesterday. Wang made the comments during talks with Japanese Trade Minister Yasutoshi Nishimura on May 26 at the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Conference. Wang was quoted as saying that Japan had ignored China's strong opposition and opinion within the industry and that its actions seriously violated international economic and trade rules. China is willing to work with Japan to promote practical cooperation in key economic and trade areas. The statement also quoted Wang as saying, on today's final report, Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro and Brazilian leader Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva assailed U.S. sanctions against Venezuela. Maduro said he hopes a regional South American summit in Brasilia will call for their removal. Lula called the U.S. sanctions extremely exaggerated and criticized the United States for denying the legitimacy of fellow leftist Maduro, who is considered by Washington an authoritarian leader who has not allowed free elections. Maduro was on his first visit to Brazil since 2015, taking advantage of warmer relations before 11 South American presidents met in Brasilia today. The Venezuelan president also said his country wants to be part of the BRICS group of leading emerging nations, which Lula said he would personally favor. Dear viewers, and now a quick recap of the major headlines. President Isaias arrives in Moscow in the late hours of today. Messages of congratulations to President Recep Tayyip Erdogan on his re-election. China urges Japan to stop imposing chip export controls. And Maduro and Lula hit out at U.S. sanctions on Venezuela. Dear viewers, that was it for today. Thanks for watching.